My name is Pius Ndeti. I am a father and I am a husband. I am 27 years old today, and my son was born when I was 25 years old.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Waka. I was in China doing my undergrad. I was studying like aeronautical engineering. I had one of those, okay, not bad boyfriends, but you know when you're like, oh, I'm in uni, trying to be all cool and stuff. So it just so happened that I got pregnant.
Kevin Isai. I first learned that my girlfriend was pregnant when we were in our third year.
My name is Michelle, aka Mama Arian. The most memorable day for me was when I found out that I was expecting a baby.
My name is Fiona Okadia. A mother to a 2.5-year-old boy. So I got my son when I was still in campus, the first year.
It was exciting at first when I got the news that we are pregnant and we are expecting our firstborn child. Any man would be excited because it's a first time. But then I got used to the excitement, and slowly down the line, something else started coming in, which is fear. I was afraid of the unknown.
I came to know about it quite late. And another extraordinary thing is that my mom was with me when we found out. So her first reaction was, oh my God, I'm going to be a grandmother. And I have a really little brother. He's about 4. And my first reaction was, oh, my brother is going to be an uncle.
We were both a bit tense, but I was more worried about her. I mean, not every parent, most parents actually wouldn't take it lightly when someone gets pregnant when they're still at school.
I think that must have been the worst moment ever, to be honest.
I came to know about it quite late. And another extraordinary thing is that my mom was with me when we found out. So her first reaction was, oh my God, I'm going to be a grandmother. And I have a really little brother. He's about 4. And my first reaction was, oh, my brother is going to be an uncle.
One challenge I can talk about is listening to people's opinion, people's opinions, because, you know, children and pregnant women develop in different ways, such that one might have complications today and another one might not have those same complications. So it was tricky for me listening to my elder brothers and sisters telling me that this is what you should do, and then my friends tell me the exact opposite. It's a bit confusing.
I had a feeling that my boyfriend then was probably going to leave, and then what? How am I going to tell my parents? My mom was going to kill me, literally. I called my dad. Actually, yeah, I texted him and told him, Dad, I have something to tell you. And I don't think you'll be too happy about it. So my dad, like, he didn't reply. He calls like 2 minutes later. He's like, Cynthia, either you've been kicked out of school or you're pregnant. So, yeah, and I was like, I've not been kicked out of school. So, yeah, he said something. I think he said, I don't remember what he said. He just hung up. Like, he didn't talk to me probably the whole day, nothing.
Of course, she faced a bit of harsh reality, let's say, from the parents.
Then later on, of course, the shock came, and oh my God, I'm pregnant, I'm going to get a baby. How am I going to tell the father? How will everyone react?
I was feeling as if at that point in time, my life was over. I mean, first year in campus, it was not something that I expected, coming from a Christian home, having all these values, and boom, here I am. So the next step was to try and hide the pregnancy, and I just kept quiet for a really long time.
After delivery of the child, a few challenges came in. I did not have a stable job at the time, so it was challenging, you know, supplying basic needs, food, shelter, and many other things, diapers, which you know are not very cheap.
It's important to also just take your time and think things through, because there's so much about my life that has had to have changed like instantly. I can't go out, you know, any time with my friends, you know. There's things like, oh my God, diapers are so expensive. Please remember diapers. It's a hustle. I literally had to potty train my baby. She's 2 years, 5 months now, and she's fully potty trained.
When you had a fallout to the guy is when I decided to actually tell my parents, because it was a really hard time. You can imagine you have this secret and it's not the best of secrets, so you keep on thinking to yourself every day, and you're crying and you don't know what the world has in store for you the next day. So I told my mom, and of course she wasn't happy, but she said she'll stand by me, she'll be supportive the whole time. Yeah, so afterwards I think it was a bit easier, but there's this part of me where I just kept on feeling as if, anyway, I've not done something good.
When you find yourself in such a situation, don't run away from it. It's normal, it's not a life sentence.
I think it's been an amazing journey for me. I'm still in the process. I'm trying to learn. Like, I'm always on like the internet trying to figure out what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong. But it's been great.
To all the parents, just support your children through that time, because finding might be difficult during the pregnancy, but once that baby comes, I mean, there's no better feeling.
Having a baby should not define that your life is over. It's even an encouragement and a motivator for most young parents. Like, for example, also in my case, like now I'm able to even work hard more in school because I know my son will depend on me. And you even find other people, they start jobs, they start just different things that probably if this baby didn't come along, then they wouldn't have started. So yeah, so Amira Africa is a platform for these people to come and seek hope, network with one another, talk to one another, share experiences, get parental advice, because as a first-time parent and a young parent for that matter, it's hard. You don't know what to do when this child is causing tantrums. You don't know what to do if your parents don't want anything to do with you.
I love it. I love my guests. They've got so much energy and they're looking fantastic. Please help me welcome Fiona Okadia, Emma Nyamai, and Derek Julu, who, of course, will share their story and tell us about Amira Africa. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
I love it. We'll start with you, Fiona. We've just seen your clip there. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story. You're a mom to a 2-year-old.
Yes.
Tell us your story, darling.
Well, I got pregnant when I was in first year, as in JKUAT University, and actually didn't tell my parents before. I told them much later, like when I was about, I think 5 months, and I had the fallout with my father's baby. So that's when I came and told my parents, and they were quite supportive from then. And there's like, I had to stay out of school for like a year because yeah, the emotions, and I'm not sure whether I want to go back to school. I feel like I've failed. I feel like I'm a disappointment to myself. Yeah, and then yeah, I went back to school after.
Okay.
So yeah, basically that's my story.
All right.
Yes.
Derek, you are not a single dad.
Yeah, of course.
You're not a single dad, no, but you are here representing Amira Africa. Tell us a little bit about the network, when it was formed, and what is it exactly that you do?
Amira Africa was formed on the 5th of August 2014, and it started off as a blog, actually. The founder, that is Miss Okadia, was putting up stories, different stories that young mothers face as challenges in their journey. And then afterwards, it developed into a network, given that the need developed from the young mothers themselves. They thought that it was important for us to meet and share stories. And it's also easier for us to interact when you meet, instead of meeting online or in other social media platforms.
Right.
So that's how it started. And then it developed into an organization, and now it's a full-fledged network. And we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and basically all the major social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll tell us, of course, about the services that you
Yeah, of
offer
course,
and the kind
of
of
course.
support. Emma, you're also part of this great network, and you're a mom to a 2-year-old.
Yes.
Tell me your story, love.
Well, I found out I was pregnant in my 2nd year in JKUAT, and I told my father's baby, but we didn't agree on certain issues, so we decided to part ways. So 2015 last year is when I met Fiona at Daystar University. She actually texted me.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, you don't know this yet, but you're about to become my best friend. So I was like,
Wow.
Jesus.
I love it.
But no, yeah, she explained to me about Amira Africa, and at that time, with all the emotions, I thought I was going through it alone, and there are so many different things so many issues as a mom. And so Fiona explained to me about Amira Africa, and I joined their group, and it was an eye-opener. Yeah.
Amazing, the kind of support that you guys are offering, which is so necessary. You've both moms talked about the emotions, the not knowing, the not having anyone to talk to, and then the one person that you're relying on, the father of this child, is no longer there to talk to every single day, and you fall out and you break up. Tell us, of course, about that emotion and why it's so hard for especially young ladies to deal on that emotional level, in your opinion.
I think most of the time it's, for the young ladies, it's like society's expectations, whereby, because I think if you don't put yourself in a position whereby they expect something from you, then you won't become disappointed, and then you won't feel as if you've done something wrong. So mostly, if I can go back to my own story, it was basically I was feeling my life is over, I don't know what I'll do from here, I've disappointed my parents, I've disappointed myself. What about school? How will I even raise this child alone since the guy now is not in the picture? So all that just, and you're young at that moment, so you're always crying. And I think for us, mostly when we provide the support, we constantly tell you it will be okay, so that you know there are so many women who've done it, you're going to do it as well. So don't beat yourself up too much. And I think that's what most young mothers go through. Like they feel, I can't, and I can't find someone who has gone through the same thing, and what my parents say, so.
Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about the stigma that surrounds young parenting, and especially single young parenting, which is even tougher. But we have a caller called Beatrice who's on the line, who wants to contribute. Good morning.
Morning, Kobe.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Thanks so much for calling. You have a question or comment for my good guests?
I have a comment.
Okay, Mama, go ahead.
Okay, me nimekuwa a young mother. I gave birth when I was 17.
Ah, yeah?
I was scared. I went through a lot. Through my parents, both sides parents.
Yeah.
Boyfriend and my mother and dad. But I never gave up.
Good girl.
I went through a lot.
Yeah. How old is the child now?
He's in class 7.
Wow,
A very handsome boy.
amazing. Good, Beatrice. Good job.
Right on. Okay, I'm a mother of 2 now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I remember one time when I went to clinic. This is funny, you laugh.
Yeah.
I went to clinic when I was too young. My mother-in-law was supporting me. And when she took me there, the nurse called her because she had this big tummy.
Yeah.
I was too young that alifikiria yeye ndio anakuja give birth. So yangu ilikuwa imejificha, so alikuwa anafikiria yeye anakuja give birth. I was too young.
Yeah.
Then after I gave birth, I went back and the question, my nurse aliuliza, are you the mother or the house girl?
Wow.
Because I was too young carrying a big baby.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, but I'm very proud. He's big. Now he's 12 years.
Amazing, Beatrice. You hang in there. You didn't give up on yourself. And that's a beautiful story. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
Say hi to the guest.
They say hi. They say hi. Right. I mean, she represents many people. And of course, that stigma of you walk into the clinic and everybody looks at you like, is this your little sister or brother that you're carrying? Talk to me a little bit, Derek, of course, about stigma and why in 2016 this issue has not yet gone away.
You know, it's a very interesting thing now that you've raised it, because what we should be celebrating, especially as Kenyans, is the Constitution 2010. And part of it, Article 27, talks about discrimination on all grounds. And regardless of your status, whether you're a mother or you're a father or you're not a father or a parent, it does not really matter. And when you come to this particular aspect and you're seeking services at the clinic, then that particular article should inform you that you should not profile anyone on the basis of that particular expectation from a societal point of view.
Right.
Basically, it means that we should accept everyone in this particular situation. So that is one. And then the other thing that we should appreciate is also Article 53, which talks about the rights of the child. If you see a young mother bringing in the kid to the clinic, then you should not, or a father bringing in the kid to the clinic, then you should not look at them from that point of view, but then you should appreciate the child, because the Constitution implores upon us to take care of the kids of our society.
I'll throw this to the ladies. We hardly follow the Constitution in many areas in this country, and I don't think this is one of the ones guys will be like, the Constitution says. I cannot judge the 17-year-old girl, you know, it doesn't happen. Have you been through stigma, people looking at you, people judging you, and how did you deal, Emma?
Of course. It was difficult, like in school, because I went to a different university and made new friends, but the moment I say they are mom, they're like, you're a mom?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I am. And then the friends just disappear. But then all in all, you decide you won't let it get to your head. After all, it's you and your baby.
Right.
So
exactly.
talk.
There's a saying that I found recently that says, if you want to know your real friends, have a child. Tell us your experience, Fiona, in terms of especially your friends, the stigma, the judging that happened.
For me also, there are quite a lot of people I'd talk with and I'd hang around with who just, after I think I fell pregnant, I don't hear from them anymore till now. And also, when you tell people like you're a young mom, there's these stereotypes that it's like, oh, so that means probably you were loose, that's why you got a baby, or like that you can almost see their mind just think about all these things, like, oh, okay, so probably that if they had put you at a certain place, now suddenly you're just, okay, it's okay, you're a young mom, it's okay, and then you're a young single mom, okay, so like you can almost see it, and I think that for me, I've reached a point of, it's okay, like my son is okay.
You're fine, you're okay, you're looking fabulous on TV. Keep on talking, keep on talking. By then, let them keep talking.
Exactly.
This network also, of course, gives an opportunity for young men, and I was hoping one of them would be here today, for young dads and single dads to really collaborate and get them needed support. And I know that it's especially very necessary for men. Derek, you'll give us that take. But guys, we have a call on the line, and it's a gentleman. His name is David. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, David.
Oh, good.
How are you doing? Hello, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Now,
okay.
I want to ask this.
Yes.
Now, concerning the issue about boy child.
About?
The boy child.
Yes.
Because the boy child is really next. Because the boy child just begins down and then it comes to back. If you see that the maendeleo of wanawake and the maendeleo of wanaume.
Okay.
And then you come back again, you find a single parent, find that a lot of emphasis is put on the single mothers.
Right.
Now, even at the discussion itself, you don't have a single father.
It's true, but we tried. I just said that, David, but you were on the line. We tried to bring a single dad here, but as you saw in the preamble, he was here. But I get your point. I'm getting what you're saying, that it seems that men and the boy child have been put in the back burner, and we're only focusing on women.
Okay, because again, look at Amira. How do they support the young fathers?
I love it. Thanks, David. You guys are my co-hosts. I've been saying that. They are my co-hosts. I love our viewers because they always ask those relevant questions. To you, sir.
Like I said, what I'd like to base on as the first onset is for us to understand Article 53. And there's the best interest of the child. Under the best interest of the child principle, you look at the parental responsibility, which is not tied to the mother only. Although in the natural course of things, people appreciate parenting, first instance from the point of view of the mother. But then under the law, you have both parents have parental responsibility, regardless of whether you're married or you're not married. So the father as well has a good point of it. And there's some things that come into play. For instance, access. if, for instance, you decide that the mother is going to stay with the kid as the legal custodian of, who has the legal custody of the kid, then the father might have access, and vice versa. If the father has the kid, then the mother has access to that particular child. And then there are also issues of maintenance, which the children court will also appreciate. Now, issues of maintenance look into more aspect of financial aspects, contribution. So you have school fees, you have medical care, and all these kind of things that you need to take care of. Right. And as well, it's also, I think some point, in as much as that is the law as well, there's also an individual responsibility. Do you as a father want to be involved in the child's life, or do you want to keep away? And the same also goes to the mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love your ideal thinking, Derek, and I one day I hope that they give you a ministry because I love the fact that you have, in terms of integrity, in terms of following the law, for you it's very plain and clear. Yeah. It doesn't happen to that level. The reality on the ground is there are parents, both fathers and mothers, who are absconding duties. There's people who've walked away from their children. Tell us, of course, in terms of your own opinion when it comes to men within the network, the kind of support you offer, and some of the cases that you've heard of these women who will abscond.
First of all, just to answer his question on whether there's something we do for the men, we also do events for the parents, whereby now they can come together, but sometimes we center them on the young moms alone, because if you are aware, most young moms are the ones who are taking care of their kids as opposed to the young dads. So, but there are some that are open, and we have young dads who come in and they interact with what we have to offer on that day. Okay. So we do have such programs for the young dads, but currently the issue is, as women, we like to talk and we'll say what's on our mind, and we look for such support group systems to just feel at peace. But men are different. I tend to believe so. It's okay. Right. Yeah, so even sometimes if we call the men, we've had so many times whereby we want them to run things for the men, because there's only as much as I can understand.
Even today you tried to bring guys
but
here.
They don't want to come. So you see, that's the thing. So if we put a program, how sure are we that we'll get the numbers? But yes, we do have about a few men, I think probably 10.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I think that's good. That's a good start.
Yeah, but they're not also as vocal to invite more and do more for the young dads. Okay. Good. Yeah, so that's the issue we have currently. But if we get a dedicated man who will bring in more young dads, and even the ones that we have now, voice it out and actually just help the young dads, then yeah, we will have more programs for the young dads.
I wanted, of course, Emma, to ask you about the father of your child. Your child is now 2 years old, and in terms of his contribution, and you can come in on this, Fiona, as well. And do you know, is it a situation where you've broken up with the person and then you co-parent? Is it about the custody? How does it work in your own?
Well, for me, when we decided to part ways, he never came back. Okay. So my family is very supportive.
So he absconded?
Yes.
Can we say that? Where he absconded, yes?
Okay, he chose, he chose that.
Okay.
But my family is very supportive. So I can safely say I am okay. But if a dad decides to come back, it's not necessarily you have to be together, but the child has the right to see the dad, and the dad has the right to see their own child.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll of course talk about the flip side of that coin, that there are many parents, and sometimes especially women, who really keep the child away because of their own personal issues to do with the other parent, and that's very tough. We'll talk about that, but we have another caller on the line. Good morning.
Morning, Kobe.
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing, love?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thanks so much for calling. You have a question or comment for my guests?
I have a comment.
Okay, Mama.
I'm a young mom.
Okay.
A member of Amira Africa.
Okay.
I'd just like to congratulate Fiona for the good job they are doing.
They are great, yeah.
Because for a young mother, you just face a lot of challenges trying to go through the pregnancy, but you don't know anything about how to take care of the baby.
Yeah.
But it's a good for them because they are there for you.
Yeah.
You just raise your questions about anything, and they are just there to answer your queries.
Amazing, Sarah. How did you
Yeah,
hear about the network?
Sorry?
How did you hear about this network?
How did I?
Hear about it. Ulisikiaje?
Okay, I just nilipewa details na a cousin. When I told her that I was pregnant,
Yeah.
She told me that there is a group that helps young mothers.
Yes.
So she introduced me,
And the rest is
and
history.
I joined.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. And kiss that
Yeah.
child of yours for us. And thank you
Okay,
for
okay.
calling. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Tell us how you reach out to young moms within the network. She's from Mombasa. I love it that you're devolving already. Tell us about
I
that.
think that's the beauty of the county government.
Yeah.
And, like I said earlier on, we have different platforms, yeah? And I think in the age where we are in technological devices and social media, we have a good number of them. Twitter, Facebook, we also on YouTube. And then for those who do not have technological advancement, we also have a phone number that we give, which is specifically for those kind of issues that are raised.
Okay.
And then I think from what you've had as well, referrals as well. So we have a good number of people who refer each other to our networks.
Okay.
And that's how we communicate with our members.
All right.
Yeah.
Financing is a huge issue. Diapers are not free.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I wish they were. But they're not free, and for a lot of single young parents, the money aspect is a huge one, and especially when you don't have family to fall back on. Tell us how that was for you, and then you can tell us what the network does to curb this issue.
Okay, well, for me, I got a job and I learned how to save. When I got pregnant, I was carefree with my money before, but after the child came, I really learned how to save every penny. Those diapers, wow. Those diapers.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, you learn how, even credit, things like even credit, you budget them, everything you budget and save and find out how your money can grow.
Okay.
If it's buying clothes and selling, like at school in JKUAT, my roommate used to buy clothes from Gikomba and sell. So I also had ideas of how to do business. Yeah.
And it worked out.
And it worked out.
2 years later, you're still here.
Yep.
All right. Financing is a huge issue. I know the issue of diapers came up when we were filming that preamble, and affordability of just childcare. Babies are expensive. How do you, Fiona, how do you deal, of course, in terms of the network, educating, giving the resources, giving the right advice when it comes to dealing with your finances?
Currently we don't let's say like one for financing, but I think the issue is sometimes the young parents think that we offer financial support.
That's what people are thinking, I'm sure.
I'm sure even right now. Like, because sometimes you find someone 8 months pregnant, she's giving birth next month, and she comes in, she's like, I don't have anything for the baby, so what can you guys provide? And we're like, we're sorry, we would like to, but currently we don't. And that's because we really don't have solid sponsors who are constant and to support the initiative. Because as I said, there's that aspect of stigma, and it's not something that's really accepted yet, because we have guys who think that we're promoting fornication, which is not what we're doing. We're actually just providing the platform for the young parents to come together. So there's that. People like, no, you're actually doing something that's contrary to what we believe in as a society.
Right.
And sometimes we've had that with also religious people who are like, no, you're not allowed to do that here. Or just have like a simple platform for the young moms. So yeah, so for now, we don't have financial support to the young parents.
Okay.
But hopefully in future, if we have quite a number of people in supporting in our cause, then we can be able to do that.
I'm sure there's a corporate that's watching, somebody who will see an opportunity here to sponsor and to give back. Me too. I really hope so. You wanted to say something, Emma?
But there are times where, as moms, because babies grow really fast and they outgrow those clothes like this. So for the moms who don't have, like they don't have anything and they're giving birth, we do gather the clothes. Yeah, the clothes, and if we have
do what you
something,
can.
we buy napkins.
Okay.
Because napkins are economic.
Right. There is, of course, yes, that.
Yeah, just before you close on that, you know, sometimes it's all about mental power. Yeah, and one of if you look at running a team, is motivate, elevate, and encourage. And in Elevation, we also try to educate them on this financial aspect. Recently, we had, in March, we had a business event and seminar. So we had a good number of people come and talk about how you can manage your finances and the kind of things that you can do from your levels in campus, in high school, and even post-campus. It was attended by a good number of personalities in our country, and that as well take to elevate them in their financial ability.
Okay. Now, of course, in looking at that issue of stigma and issue of, you know, being shunned because your motive and your objectives could be looked at as sinister. The kind of support that you offer, the kind of platform that you offer, let's make that clear right now. So nobody's calling the network to say, hey, by the way, what are you guys doing? And talk about, of course, creating awareness as to prevention, because that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Somebody, Fiona, take that one.
Okay. Amira Africa is a platform whereby young moms come and they encourage, elevate, and motivate one another. So we do this through the blog, whereby we share stories, we share things to just uplift the mother. Because I strongly believe, like, if you have a positive attitude towards life, that money will come. You will be able to get the job that you want. You'll be able to relate well with your family, with that child. You'll be able to parent him or her well. You'll be able to fall in love, get married, you know. But it's just, people think it's just about the finances, which is not. So that's what Amira does. We position you for a positive attitude towards life, which we feel is very, very important. Like, from you thinking you're a failure and you can't parent this child, you'll never find love, you'll never get married, guess what? You will. Yeah. All those things that you think you won't, then now it becomes, we turn it into a positive attitude for the moms. Yeah. So we do this through now various platforms that Julie talked about.
Amazing. Yes. Of course, one of the things that I think is really beautiful is, and I've talked about this earlier, is we have to stop judging each other based on our past. And we all make mistakes, and we all go through this thing called life. But it's important that people focus on the here and the now. Is it tough thinking, of course, about a relationship, thinking about being a single mom, and how men out there will judge you? You're gorgeous, you know, right? So is this something that you think about? Yeah? And how's that going?
It's on my mind.
Yeah.
Well, it's on my mind, I won't lie, but mostly I'm more careful. I do have a child, so I will not just let...
You're not going to hide this child because of a dude.
Yeah. No, I won't hide. I will not hide her.
Yeah.
But I'm more careful.
Okay.
Yeah. And single and searching.
Okay, amazing. Right, my last question is to Derek. What can you say, you not being a parent, you being a man, as to why it's also important that that stereotype of being in a relationship with a single mom or getting married to a single mom is something that's not cool?
No, I think, like you, alluding to what you pointed out, there are things that we take as wrong, which are more wrong than others, which I think is wrong, because the moment that something is not part of your life, it means that it's possible in somebody else's life.
Yeah.
And it's all about limiting your own opportunities, you know. And today you're looking at this particular lady or this particular man who is a single father or a single mother. Tomorrow it will be your sister, it will be your brother, it will be your daughter, it will be your son, it will be your cousin. So unless we have an holistic and broader picture, then we'll always be limited in our mentality and approach. So let's say today is a relationship. Will you have the same mentality when it comes to employment? Because all you're looking for is profit in your business.
Right.
Now, if that person is qualified, will you deny them the chance because he or she is a single parent?
No.
So you should apply the same in your relationship as well.
Right.
If this lady is a good lady, she's godly, she's all the qualities that you're looking for, why not go for her? The fact that she's having a kid does not negate the fact that she's qualified.
In actual fact, you'll get more love. Yes. You'll get more love. That's what I know. Babies love to love, you know? So don't shun, Don't shun. And that's the topic we're going to discuss with Jenny this week. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. Guys, this was awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the work that you're doing. I know after this show that you're going to get a lot of contact. So guys, please log on to social media platforms. If you are a young mom, if you're pregnant at the moment and you're feeling all alone, guess what? You're not alone. There is help, there's a platform, there's a network for you, and there's so many people who are going through what you're going through. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. No. It's not. It's not the end of the world. Thank you for joining us so much. Amira Africa is online. They're everywhere. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter. Please log on to share that information with someone you know and yourself as well.